There's lots of things I'd like to say. This is one of the things I want to say. I probably, if you tune me in through this program that Fred put me on, I'm glad to join it. But I have to say that my main interest is the Word of God, and that's what's kept me all through these years, and nearly dying and really coming back into life had made me understand how important it is to understand what God is saying. And I just want to go just into James for a minute. James is Jesus' half-brother, and he must have been growing up with Jesus because he learned a lot of his different ways, and he sort of like understood the ministry that Jesus was in, where he went, and down to the poor, and those that were sick, and those that had a lot of problems and affliction in their life. That James more or less relates to the people in a way that when we go through it, these different temptations and trials, knowing that it's the trying of our faith. And God tries our faith because he wants to see where we're at and what we're able to, what we can withstand, in a sense, where what we're going to do, and we're going to walk away, we're going to give up. And it's important that we don't give up, because the trial of our faith gives us patience, and patience, it becomes a perfect work that may be perfect in our entire wanting nothing. You see, wanting nothing means that we don't need anything because we have perfection through Jesus Christ. We have Jesus Christ in our life. And if any of us lack wisdom, and the whole thing is that we get our wisdom from God, and all we got to do is ask, and God will give us all the wisdom that we need. He gives it to us liberally, and it shall be given unto him. It says it right in his word. But let him ask in faith. But you say, what is faith? Faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth, and this is very strong stuff from the word of God, for he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea driven by the wind and tossed back and forth. Now, for let him not, that man, think that he shall receive anything from the Lord. So, that's not faith. It says, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. It's instability. Instability is not faith. Faith is something altogether different. I studied 30 pages, and I wrote 30 pages out of this Bible. I've got hundreds of pages that I've written on faith, and it all turns to love, and that's another subject. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he receives the crown of life. That's one of the crowns. I believe there's 4. And the crown of life, which the Lord has promised. This is a promise to them that love him. But if we want to go on, this is understanding the word. And it's important to understand the word. We got to understand what we're reading. But it says, but be ye doers of the word, and not just hearers only, deceiving your own selves. It's not enough to just hear what the word is saying. We got to be doers, and that's another subject altogether, what a doer of the word is. It's faith with action. Each man, it says in the Bible, and I don't know exactly where it is, but it says we're each given a measure of faith. That's at the beginning. That measure of faith has to be developed in action in our lives. That faith has got to turn into action, and that is works. That works with faith. There is no such thing as faith alone. It goes with works. And it says it, but be ye doers of the word, not just hearers only, deceiving yourself. For if you are a hearer of the word and not a doer, you are like a man beholding his natural face in a glass. In other words, that's it. In other words, for he beholdeth himself go away and forget manner the way he was. But he who looketh into the perfect law of liberty, and continueth therein, and being not and forgetting and forgetful hearer, but a doer of the word, this man shall be blessed in his deed. You see, because it goes together. Faith and doing. Faith and doing. So people say, I've got faith, and they don't even understand it. So what I'm doing is just expressing myself a little. This is one of the subjects I just start off with. I've got a lot to teach. And I'm glad I'm able to, and maybe someone could learn. That's about it for today.